Hello, ma'am?
Help me. Help me, I'm at the Maple Zoo. Help me, please, I'm at the Maple Zoo.
Okay, what's happening?
I'm being attacked by a tiger. Please, please, please.
You're being attacked by a tiger?
Yes, please, at the Maple Zoo. Please,
Okay.
please, please help me.
We have them coming there to you, okay?
Okay.
Is there someone there with you? What? Did you get into the cage? Hello, ma'am.
Help, 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 help.
We're sending help to you.
Please help.
We're trying to help you. Did you climb into a cage? Hello, ma'am? Are you an employee? Okay, we're sending someone to help you, okay?
Please.
Where exactly are you? Are you in the cage?
Yeah, no, I'm just outside of it. He's got my hand.
Okay. The tiger has your hand?
I'm sorry.
I understand that. We have help coming to you, okay? Is there staff there?
No.
We're trying to get you help, okay?
Please hurry! Please hurry! He's gonna rip my arm off! Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! Please hurry! Please hurry! Please hurry! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die!
They're coming to help you.
I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! Please hurry! You gotta shoot it! You gotta shoot it! You gotta shoot it! You gotta shoot it! You gotta shoot! Please! 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 Please!
They're coming.
It's ripping my arm off, please.
They're coming to help you. Just breathe, okay? Just breathe. They're coming to help you. They're coming to help you. They're firing EMS. They're pulling up on the scene now, okay?
Please. Oh my
Fire
god.
EMS are coming to help you, okay?
Jump the fence. Please jump the fence. Please jump the fence, please. Oh my god. I'm gonna die. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're going to help you. I'm going to stay on the phone with you, okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo-Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashim, which means in the name, Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, what brings us to our discussion / topic tonight is, what are you going to do when you no longer can call 911? What are you going to do when you can no longer call 911? Tony the Tiger. Because as we heard from the clip that was played, this janitor at the zoo either crossed over into the enclosure or got close enough to the enclosure with Tony the Tiger could grab hold of his hand and would not let go. See? And the only thing that this person or individual could do at that time is call 911. Well, what are you going to do when 911 is no longer in service? And the Lord sends those spirits that are created for vengeance. And we're going to get it. See? This is why it is imperative to have the names and have faith in the names and show your works, okay? Because 911 isn't going to rescue you in that day, okay? And we're vastly approaching it when you're not going to be able to call 911. See, and if you don't have this truth and you don't know who to call on, guess what? You're going to get the full brunt of it, all right? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 50 and verse 14. It reads, offer unto the Most High thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High. See? So what we're doing isn't going to go unnoticed. The Lord sees us giving thanksgiving, paying our vows, all right? Doing this work. This is part of the vow that we took when we came into this truth to what? Endure and give our whole heart to who? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. For just an occasion. Okay? Because what are you going to do when 911 is no longer in service and Tony the Tiger is gnawing down on your hand or even your throat? You're going to have no, you ain't going to have no answer for that. You're going to call on Jesus? You're going to call on your mama? Who are you going to call? You're just going to have to sit there and take it, okay? And you heard how it sounded. You heard the agony, the pain in his voice. That was a damn dude, but the operator thought it was a female. That just gave me another precept. Let's jump there real quick, like while it's still fresh on the mind. This is it Jeremiah 31? Nope, it's not Jeremiah. Or is it? This is Jeremiah 30 in verse 6. It reads, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with a child or with child. And that man was sounding like so much of a woman in labor pains that the operator thought it was a woman. You kept hearing the operator say, ma'am, it's going to get worse than that in the time of Jacob's trouble. It says, Jeremiah 30 and verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Man don't travail with child. That's something that's assigned to a woman. It goes on to read, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail. This is the time that's coming, man, where we're coming into the worst time ever that's going to make men break down and become as if a woman in travail, crying. These are hard times we're going into. And you want to play games and you want to think that 911 is going to always be there for you to call on. You want to think that Jesus is going to be the one that saves you. No. All those are going out the window at that time. And if you don't have the true names of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, good luck, because you're going to need it and it ain't going to help. It says, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. If they had a video of that man, you can bet his face was pale. Screaming in agony, saying, shoot the thing. The Lord put the spirit on that tiger. The Lord put the spirit on Tony the Tiger to do his will. And guess what? he's going to put the Spirit on a lot more of them when that time comes. It says, verse 7, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he, who is the he? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds that make up the 12 tribes of Israel, in specific, the elect of them. But he, that's who Jacob is, Israel. He wrestled with the angel and he turned his name into Israel. Yasharallah, meaning what? Prince of the power. Who's the power? Yahweh. And we're the prince. But only the elect is going to be saved on this side. It says, but he shall be saved out of it. See? Had that been an Israelite that did the work and had the vow and called on Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Tony the Tiger would never even touch them. You see? Because why? We know what happened with Daniel in the den. After they starved the lions to have them more hungry to eat Daniel, they didn't even touch him. See? But this guy right here, as we're going to read back in Psalms 50, the wicked, okay? Not just Esau, but the 2/3 of our people too. They ain't going to have access to the power, to our power, Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, in that day. All right? So it says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. You ain't going to be able to compare what we finna go through. That what you saw, that opening clip, is just a microcosm for what's coming to everybody here on the face of the earth. But Jacob, the elect of Jacob, Israel, will be saved out of it. It says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble. But he, the elect of Israel, shall be saved out of it. Now let's jump back to Psalm 50 and 14. Okay? Because he was crying so much that the operator thought it was a girl, man. This is Psalms 50 and verse 14. It says, offer unto the Most High thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High. See, this is why we give all praises to Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, and we reverence that name. We reverence those names because we understand the significance behind it, the importance. Because why? It's going to come a time where 911 will no longer be in service. You won't get any help, and you're going to have to be able to call on Yahweh Wah and Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. If you don't have it, we're going to read it in Ecclesiastes 39. See? The Lord is going to put you through trials. The Lord is coming to try the whole earth. But only the elect will be delivered out of it. So there's going to be a lot of Tony the Tigers out there ready to gnaw down on your hand and maybe even your jugular or something. See, a jugular, you're going to easily be taken out. But your hand or your arm or something like that you're going to feel all that pain for all that while, oh, you're going to feel the wrath of the Lord in that day. So it says, offer unto the Most High thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High. See? And this is the point. Call upon me in the day of trouble. So we scrapping 911. We done already scrapped Jesus. We calling on Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Acts 4 and 12. Let's read it. This is the book of Acts, chapter 4 and verse 12. It reads, neither is there salvation in any other. No Jesus, no 911, no anything. It says, neither is there salvation in any other. For there is none other name under heaven given among men. See? Why would the Lord set us up for this if he didn't give us a way out by having the names? See? That's malarkey or BS if somebody tell you that we don't got the names. Because we're coming into the worst time ever and the Lord ain't going to give us the names? He's not ungrateful to forget your works. Of course he's going to give you the name to call on so you can magnify him and glorify him properly. And his name isn't Jesus. His only begotten son name isn't Jesus. It's Yahushua. And he's not God. He's Yahweh. Okay? And test it if you want to. And we're going to find out there's a Tony the Tiger near you. It says, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. 911, Jesus, or whoever else isn't sufficient enough for us to call on to be saved. It has to be Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And that's the only way. So now let's jump back to Psalm chapter 50 and verse 15. This is the book of Psalm chapter 50 and 15. It says, and call upon me in the day of trouble. And check this out. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. See? That individual didn't have the names to call on him. So he had to embrace the full brunt of that tiger's grip on his hand, of his canines piercing. Now, me, myself, I was ill-advised as a youngster, and I tried to break up a dog fight, and the dog, which was a good-sized dog, a Rottweiler, turned and bit my hand. And I can only imagine what a tiger bite feels like. All right? And that dog that bit my hand / arm took out one of my veins, and I had to go get it healed up at the hospital. So I can only imagine. And when I saw that blood, man, it freaked me out because I was a youngster, under 15, 16. Younger than that. All right? But nevertheless, it didn't dawn on me till I wrapped the towel around my arm, and then I looked down at the towel, and it was it had completely turned red. Then all hell broke out. I panicked. I had to get rushed to the hospital, and I learned my lesson. Never break up a dog fight, okay? So just imagine what that guy arm is looking like, his hand is looking like from a tiger. And you want to play games? Okay, play them. Call on your false idol, your false god. All right, because we're going to read the next verse. It says, verse 15, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. See, it says, what is that precept I'm thinking about? Where the righteous shall scarcely be saved, how much more the wicked? See, the righteous is going to scarcely be saved. And that's why we're going to be glorifying, because we're going to know that it's no one else that could have saved us other than Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And we're going to glorify him. We're going to give him thanksgiving. Okay? We're going to, we ain't going to be able to stop glorifying him. Okay? Let me see if I can get that. Scarcely. Scare. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 18. It says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, if we be of the number, if we of the elect, we're barely going to get out of this. And when we do, Lord willing, we of that number, you don't think whatever the Lord put us through that he gets us out, we ain't going to glorify him and give him praises properly by his name? Of course we are. It says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? See, if they're here in America, they're going to appear in that lake of fire, okay? That's the ultimate judgment. But they're going to be catching hell and getting knocked out and taken out by all types of spirits created for vengeance. All right? So we fear the Lord, okay? We don't want a Tony the Tiger incident like we just heard in the beginning of this lesson. So let's jump back to Psalms 50 and verse 15. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 50 and verse 15. It says, and call upon me in the day of trouble. See, the Lord is telling us that. He wants us to call upon him. That's why he gave us his name. It says, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. See, we can't glorify Yahweh while Yahweh Shai by calling on another name. You have to have the proper names to call on. See? What's that? Zephaniah? This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, for then will I turn to the people a pure language. See? He gave us the Lashuan Quadash, the holy tongue. And amongst having a holy tongue, he gave us his holy name and his only begotten son's holy name. And it's not God or Jesus. It's Yahweh, Wah Yahweh Shai. And Wah just means and. So Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. It says, Zephaniah 3 and 9, for then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh. Call Haloyim all praises. Call Haloyim all praises. Call Haloyim la Yahweh all praises to Yahweh. Call Haloyim la Yahweh Bahashim Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai, the Hamashiach. It says that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. See, only the elect has this knowledge, this truth, and are actually doing what's asked and required of them. This is why the Lord is going to deliver them in that day. Okay? So let's jump back to Psalms and let's go to Psalm 50 and read it again. 15. It says, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Verse 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth. See? And that day, your riches ain't going to be able to save you. All right? Having all the money ain't going to be able to get you out of what's coming. All right? You're going to be crying just like a woman in travail. All right? Your riches, your gold, your silver isn't going to be able to deliver you in that day. All right? And for you 2/3 Jakes, you wicked ass Israelites that didn't repent, you finished, man. You squander or threw away your only opportunity at salvation by scoffing and mocking and turning your nose up at the servants, the prophets of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Wah, Yahweh Shai. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? See? Now, presumably that was the Edomite that was getting his hand gnawed down by Tony the Tiger. So he ain't have no chance in hell, man. 911 was his best opportunity, man. But at what cost? He probably got 100 stitches or so. And that's an eye-opening and an eye waking for you Israelites, man. Take this truth seriously. It says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. See? So you hear the servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai out on the highway and hedges preaching and teaching and making videos, and you just scroll by them. You don't want to take the chance and listen And ultimately, it's the Spirit that has to guide you, but the Lord has not called you. Okay? Or he's called you, but he hasn't chosen you. And for that, you're going to be destroyed in that day. All right? So it says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. See? That's why America is going to be destroyed. Because it's wicked. And it's ran by the wicked, Esau, Edom. And as it says, as is the king, so is the people. And the 2/3 of our people is lumped right alongside all the other heathen nations that's here. And they're going to get judged the same way. They're going to get that same nuclear fire. See? And they're going to feel it. All right? Because why? They had the opportunity. Okay? And they squandered it. So the Lord's got a spirit-created vengeance just for them, leading up into the ultimate destruction of Babylon the Great, the United States of America. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, and let's read verse 28. It reads, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. And we just heard one. Which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Hey man, that man, 26, he's in the prime. He's in his prime physically. But he couldn't get out of that damn lock, man. Okay? That tiger had that lock on him. It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made them? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 45:7. Let's read it. This is Isaiah chapter 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. See? So he's got judgment. He's got creation of what? Light and darkness, peace and evil. All right? Light for the righteous and darkness for the unrighteous. Peace for the righteous and evil for the unrighteous. Spirits created for vengeance. See? So I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Why? Because the Lord is just. He's balanced. All right? Despite what your Christian pastor tells you that God is all love. No, he isn't. See, if you knew who the Lord was, you would fear him and do what's asked and required of him because you know he would jack you up. This is Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. No, Salakia, 11. This is Proverbs 11 and 21. Salakia, verse 1. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 1. It says, a false balance is abomination to Yahweh. See? So if he was all good, that would be a false balance because it wouldn't weigh itself out equally. So in order to weigh itself out, judgment, he has to be what? Balance. That's why he created what? Good and evil, light and darkness. That's complete balance. All right? The Chinese try to call it yin and the yang. No, it's called balance. It's called judgment. It says, Proverbs 11 and 1, a false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. See, he's just. All right, he's long suffering for the Israelites to repent, but they're not all of those that don't come to repentance. He has judgment. All right, and he's going to judge the other nations, Jeremiah 30 and verse 16, for what they did to the Israelites. That's a just weight. See? It says, but a just weight is his delight. See? He's going to pay them a recompense. So no one gets away. So now we back to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach in the Apocrypha, which you can find in your 1611 King James Version Bible. All right? This is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 28. It reads, there be spirits that are created. We just read Isaiah 45:7. The Lord creates it all. For vengeance, judgment, justice, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And we read it. Fire and hail and famine, these all have spirits in them. And death, all these were created for vengeance. What else? Teeth of wild beasts. Tony the Tiger, man. The Lord put the spirit on him to do that. That didn't just happen by happenstance or coincidence. No, the Lord put the spirit on that tiger to judge that individual. More than likely for either what he's done or what he did in the past, even in his previous life. So it says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. See? No one gets away, okay? This ain't no final destination where you can escape death. You're going to be judged. And if you're here in America, if you're not the elect, you're going to be destroyed. All right? So who are you going to call when 911 is no longer in service and Tony the Tiger has a hold of you? You through. See? You're through. So let's go ahead and close out. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, and verse 8. This is 1 Peter, chapter 5, and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. See? Knowing and understanding that your riches, your gold, your silver, 911, Jesus, whoever else you thought, or whatever else you thought was going to deliver and save you in that day ain't going to happen. If you don't have the names and the works and not of the elect, you're not making it, especially if you're here in America when all hell breaks loose. It says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, this time it was a tiger, all right? But nevertheless, he's going to devour you. It says, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Oh yes, he's going to get that hold. He may take you by the hand. He may take you by the throat. Who knows where he's going to get you. All right. But we heard what happens once he gets you. You start breaking down and crying like a little girl. So that's a sad way to go out, man. Crying like a little girl. Showing you that the Lord ain't one to be played with, played over. You better repent, or you find yourself being devoured by that lion. Okay? That tiger. Tony the Tiger. Let's read that again. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, see, as a roaring lion, and in the case of this, it was a tiger, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Right? You get too close. You get too close. You already seen what happened, man. Here it is, he at work, janitory, trying to clean the cage, probably got a little too close or went over. The next thing you know, that tiger been waiting. That reminds me of that damn special Cat Williams did when he said that tiger in the zoo waiting for his chance. Just one day, one If I could have put that clip on here, I would have did that. But, you know, they probably hit you with a copyright. But nevertheless, Cat Williams said that tiger questioned himself who he was because he had been removed from the wild and never been to the wild. But once that person came into his enclosure, Cat Williams said that lion was waiting. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. And then he pounced on him, man. See, you can take the cat out the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the cat, man. That's that natural instinct, okay? And the Lord's going to put that spirit on him, man. All right? He's going to put the spirit on this damn devil to roll on you damn Israelites that are wicked. Because that's what he made Esau to be, the wicked. See? He's just not in his full form right now. But soon, when he bring that RFID microchip to be made mandatory and leading up into that, the closer we get, you're going to see him in his full form. His horns are going to show, all right? You're going to see what type of power the Lord has given this devil for his purpose so that he could bring forth judgment, all right? And if you ain't of the number of the elect and the Lord hasn't chosen you and you don't have the names, you ain't going to make it. So let's read it one more time and then we'll close. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right. So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.